Hello and welcome to the first ever Rushdown Revolt patch recap. I'm Goose, and today we're going to be going over to the New Beginnings patch that dropped on the 25th that adds a brand new character, new features, and some significant changes to most of the cast. Let's get into it. The newcomer to the roster of Allura is a combo machine with fast and flashy combat as well as some absolutely devastating confirms. We can't wait to see what you can do with this character. Allura's tilt scenarios all have very short charge times and gain unique properties upon reaching this full charge. Whenever you hit one of these fully charged moves, it will grant the corresponding treasure. Upon collecting all 8 treasures, Allura's next down special will call down the Kraken, a devastating barrage of projectiles for you to play around with. Let's move on to our major character updates. Starting with the biggest character change of this patch, Erda has received some quality of life changes and has scored a few reworked moves to boost her neutral play while reducing some of her single move punish gain. Her side special is now significantly faster and comes with an option to fake enemies out. Erda's aerial neutral special can now be tapped up to 3 times in the air, allowing you to extend its duration. Her grounded neutral special now erupts a vicious crystal out of the ground at a fixed distance in order to catch dashbacks and force aggressive play. Her down special has gotten significantly slower, but has increased damage, range, and has invulnerability on her arm and head. Ashani is now rocking a brand new grounded down special which acts as an advancing kick which allows users to gain stage control and aggress onto opponents. Ashani's side special has foregone some of the monstrous damage and knockback that it used to have for something much smaller, faster, and significantly more mobile. This move can now also be angled. The Sylvan Sorcerer's Ezzy has received some maintenance on a few of her normals and aerials in conjunction with a reworked neutral beam. This trap style move acts in 3 separate stages. The first stage drops a seed of Abraxas, which acts quite similarly to as it currently does. However, when activated by an enemy and hit stun, the seed will grow into an evil plant, which will launch enemies upwards. The third stage will add some vertical movement that tracks the height of the opponents, and when activated, it will deal massive damage and knockback. Wei Shan now has a new option on his side special. By holding the button, you can launch an enemy forward, off stage, or directly into the blast zone. Now, the biggest change to Wei Shan is in his up special. Getting rid of the Dolphin Slash, this is now a 2-hit move that acts as a launch and a spike. Power it up with your EX moves to make it even stronger, and it can be cancelled again by hitting the special button. His neutral special has also been reworked to be much faster and viable in its base form, while the EX version summons a relentless wave of spikes that advances its way across the stage but disappears when Wei gets hit. Afi and Galu have been granted an upgraded neutral special, imbuing the throne statue with the user's element. There are a few other properties given to ANG's neutral B as well. Throwing it horizontally will give you Spark, allowing you to follow up and rush your opponents down, while throwing it up allows you to zone your opponent out and keep them away from your space. There are some really interesting ways to utilize this move, so I want to see what you can come up with. Zhurong's red neutral special has also been changed significantly. There are 5 levels to this move. When uncharged, this move is fairly simple, just reverse knockback. The first level acts as it does right now. Level 2 adds a projectile to the mix. Moving on to level 3, you have a much bigger, slower projectile. Level 4, it adds a multi-hit effect. And then level 5 is a death ray. Now, moving on to some of the more minor changes. Kid, Raymer, and Seth have also received a few changes of their own. Kid's neutral special has now become a multi-hit projectile. On 3 pips, this doesn't go overly far, but does combo quite well, while at 6 pips, it becomes a massive multi-hit projectile that can chase enemies down and give you huge punishes. Raymer now has the ability to put his grenades into stasis and reactivate them by pressing the input button again, or by hitting it with a move. You can even shoot the grenade to unlock it. He can also gain Spark off of his shots. Now, before you panic, only unbounced shots give him this resource. Seth has a new flashier animation for his F-tilt, which sells the multi-hit nature of the move a whole lot better. This new forward tilt also allows for much easier spark cancels on the early hit of this move. His down special has also been granted a little bit of super armor, allowing him to be a little more aggressive with the move. But that's not all. This patch also comes with a host of mechanical changes, so let's get into them. Starting off with grounded movement, Rush can no longer be cancelled into itself, and can now only be cancelled into attacks, shields, and jumps, allowing the player to be significantly more aggressive with this mechanic. We've also added a new defensive option into the game, Air Tech. Press shield briefly at the end of hit stun in order to become invulnerable for a short period of time. Be careful though, because if one of these gets punished, it puts you into critical state. You get put into this state by having one of your defensive options get punished. This state starts at 3 stacks and you lose one every consecutive hit. These stacks apply additional hit stun, starting at 20% and ending at 10%. There's now a new way to cancel in the form of Red Burst. By using your burst instead of a spark cancel, you can now put your opponent into critical state and effectively spend your burst to extend your combo. Continuing with some of the mechanical changes, out of shield options are now much more effective. You can now use your attacks such as jabs, tilts, or specials without the need to drop your shield first. There are tons of different frame data changes pertaining to speed, advantage on shield, and many other properties. Be sure to check the doc in the description for more info. And that wraps it up for the New Beginnings patch. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want more, and go check out the patch notes linked in the description for more info. These are our new beginnings, but our story has only started.